Welcome to the Surely podcast, and yes, aliens exist. It's time for the conspiracy corner. I'm going to say aliens exist, and I think, yes, we cannot be the only people on planet Earth. And I'm not saying that in a tin hat kind of way.
What?
Whoa. Okay, yes, on planet Earth. Okay, we've never checked the ocean. We've never checked. Yes, I know outer space, 100% there's people living there, but I'm going to say right now, making a big call, aliens on Earth.
That is a big call.
Big call.
So they've already visited us.
Well, that's what. Have you heard of the Antarctica theory? Why nobody allowed to go there?
Because it's very dangerous?
No. Okay, think about this, right? America. Yeah, but think about this. America, all those countries, Russia, etc. All they do is go to places and mine the resources, right? Everybody talk about Antarctica and say, yes, the place is so mineral resource.
It is very mineral dense,
right?
yes.
You think America and stuff are not going to be like, oh,
they signed a treaty.
Freedom?
They signed a treaty.
When have they ever cared about that? They're going to go there. Antarctica needs freedom. Antarctica needs freedom. Why they don't go there?
How easy is it for you to mine the minerals in Antarctica? Like, how easy is it?
Oh, it's very costly. It's very, very costly. It's getting easier. It's getting easier with the melting.
But that's what they're doing, though. After they're already signed it.
They are. It is. Countries are starting to move in on it a little bit.
Yeah, but no one has moved in.
Because the technology isn't there yet.
So you're saying it's too cold? It's too cold.
One thing.
It's bloody, like, even machinery can't survive because it's so bloody cold.
Machinery can't survive in cold?
That is true. Yeah, machinery can't.
Oh,
it freezes over.
Okay, wait. That's a side note. The main question is, though, it's conspiracy corner.
Okay,
aliens are the reason why people don't go to Antarctica.
I just want to say one thing. Now,
this is just a theory. I'm not actually a tin hat, okay?
You were 100% right when you said that we're not the only people in the universe. Mm-hmm. I mean, just mathematically speaking, just statistically speaking, it's physically possible for us to be the only people in the universe. The galaxy? We're probably not the only people in the galaxy. The chances...
Did you just say we're the only people in the universe but not in the galaxy?
I said we're not the only people in the universe.
No, we're not.
We're definitely not. 100% we're not the only people in the universe.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We're probably like 80, 60% certainly not the only people in the galaxy. There's probably people in the galaxy. Mm-hmm. On Earth? That's a tough sell, man. That's a tough sell. Mm-hmm.
JSWT. You know that satellite?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
James Webb Space Telescope?
Yeah, that's the one.
Didn't they throw something out into space?
Yeah. It's pretty much orbiting the Earth, but like from far away, right?
Yeah.
And then they said, oh yeah, we're going to go and have a look at the Big Bang, right? Yeah. That's the origin of everything. They go out and look at the Big Bang. They're like, oh, it don't look like the Big Bang. It still looks like there's stuff beyond that. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we've thought to this point was the Big Bang, and now it's like, oh wait, that might be wrong. So how you know? How you know?
Okay, I actually studied physics in university for a time, okay? And so the thing is, the universe, you like to say universe is infinite? It's not. The universe is finite, but unbounded, okay? Think about it like this.
This is expanding.
Think about this. Is the Earth finite?
Yes.
Who is finite?
But wait.
Who is finite? I don't know what he means by that. I'm dumb.
I'm dumb. He's not end.
Well, it's definitely not flat.
If you walked in one direction on the Earth, would you ever reach the end?
Yes.
We'll get to that. You
would just keep going round and round, right?
Well, if your start point is the end.
Well, no, you'll never reach a point where you
Are
can't go
there aliens on planet Earth?
You might be onto something.
Is Justin Trudeau a reptilian?
Well, that, yes, but that's not aliens. That's different.
Okay.
Why not Elon Musk?
Actually, he's the son of Fidel Castro. Did you know that?
Okay, we'll get to
probably the son of Fidel Castro.
What'd you say?
Why not Elon Musk?
No, it could be. It could be.
Just because you drive a Tesla, you don't want to put Elon Musk in the alien category.
Okay. All right. Let's pause it there on the Earth, but is there aliens, like people or humans or living entities that are not on Earth, but elsewhere in the
humans?
In the wider
not
universe.
necessarily humans, but living organisms.
Or in the universe.
Semi-intelligent, fully intelligent?
Yeah.
Are
there people or things smarter than us that are watching us and like, Galactic Federation? Ever heard of that?
I think there could be. We're not technologically far enough to be able to say when...
Mate, make a call.
No one likes a fencer. No one likes a fencer.
I think they exist because Area 51. Why is it always locked up?
Because it's military secrets.
You heard of Bob Lazar?
Go on.
Bob Lazar was a guy who was working in Area 51, and he said that they are reverse engineering spaceships. So he basically said that they have spaceships over there, and what they're doing is they're reverse engineering. So they're pretty much trying to figure out how it was built, and they're trying to work backwards to figure it out. And they said that these spaceships or spacecrafts are actually using gravity. Like they're generating gravity themselves in order to travel forwards and backwards. So that stuff exists on Earth. And he also said that they had like a alien body, like that they were examining and studying.
Okay, I've seen enough alien body videos to know that that's bullshit. But the gravity thing, the ships using gravity, that I can believe. I don't believe that we have them in Area 51 who are reverse engineering. Because if we were reverse engineering them from the 50s, why can't we control gravity these days?
Okay, so the question is, do you think aliens on Earth right now? Yes or no?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to say... I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. Because the UAPs. How do you explain the UAPs?
Oh, yes. Did you hear about those drones or whatever?
I was going to say, there was a whole bunch of UAPs in the United States, But why does it only
always
happen
the United
in the
States? Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing.
True.
How do we know it only happens in the United States?
What do you mean?
Well, have you seen one in New Zealand?
Well, I haven't seen one in the United States either.
But that's where they're reporting it.
Well, but the United States military is constantly flying planes. It's the United States military pilots that are seeing them. And the military is looking into it. That's what makes it interesting to us. How many New Zealand fighter pilots do we have? None. We don't have any fighter planes. No.
So you think they're planes?
No, our planes.
No, he's saying we
the
don't see them because
humans are in the
Yeah,
planes.
so you think what people are seeing in America is aircraft?
No, I'm saying that the people in the planes are seeing the UAPs.
So he's saying we don't have planes, so we don't see them.
New Zealand doesn't have planes?
Well, no,
Fighter jets! Fighter jets!
So who's seeing the UAPs?
The fighter pilots in the United States.
Yeah, but also other people seeing UAPs, not just the
Well,
fighter
people have been
pilots.
seeing those for ages, and those are just weather balloons and stuff.
Alright.
When the US military started releasing those, that's when I thought
You
that's
say
it.
yes, aliens exist, obviously.
Aliens definitely exist,
in on Earth.
but not on Earth. Maybe not on Earth.
Well, what is that?
Okay, so do you guys reckon that the sightings are all hoax? All the alien sightings?
I think
Like,
most
what's
of
your
them.
take?
I think most of them are. Because it's like people want to see aliens, so they see aliens. Right? Like Area 51, it's near a town called Roswell, right? It's literally that town, its entire economy is tourism for people that want to see aliens.
Yeah.
So people go there and they see aliens because they want to see aliens. They're there to see aliens, and their mind tells them, that was an alien.
And you've probably got people throwing fake aliens at them all the time, right?
Probably, right? Yeah.
But what my thing is, so I believe aliens on Earth because have you ever heard of ancient aliens?
The show. I know Koshik has. He's the one who got you onto it.
Yeah. But it's actually quite interesting because you look at all these structures on Earth, right? They just have no explanations for how they're built and all that stuff. And then you've also got these gods, which is what ancient aliens bases itself off of. Is that the gods that people pray to are actually aliens.
So
with superior technology that made them look godlike.
Right.
So, UFOs, rocket ships, guns, lasers, people saw them, they're like, they've got superpowers. Because these guys are really primitive when these aliens visited Earth.
Well, are you talking specifically about the pyramids right now?
Well, not just the pyramids.
What else?
I'm talking about religion as well. Like,
oh dear.
When you go into
Because
religion,
actually, in Hinduism, there are a lot of stories of like the Vimans and stuff, right? The flying chariots of the gods. So I get where he's coming from.
This is historically,
they always see
and it's not just Hindus, it's like other religions as well.
It's all the religions.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with religion, and it doesn't matter if you're religious or not, the thing with religion is that most religions, ancient religions, have some form of correlation. They have some sort of, they're very similar in the stories. So how do these people that are so far apart coming up with this, because a non-believer would say they're just imagining these things, they're making these stories up. How does one guy in one side of the world come up with a story that's exactly the same as somebody on the other side of the world?
But this guy just said that people see things on the sky and they're just hot air balloons. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
let me tell you that. I want to talk about this because I really do want to talk about this. The people that come up with the religions, right? Everything that survives thousands of years in the religion is stuff that people relate to at their core, right? It's essentially human, right? humans, I don't mean to offend any religious people, but humans create gods in their image, right? And so humans everywhere are the same. And so, of course, they imagine the same things. They see the phenomenon that's happening in the world, right? And they give it different explanations, but the explanations that survive are the ones that are the core to your experience as a human.
Now that Roy has cancelled himself.
I think
Love my religious peeps.
Yeah. So, okay, we're talking about the historical parts of religion and how... So you're not necessarily only talking about religion, you're talking about pyramids, you're talking about everything.
So historical and historical geological structures as well.
So pyramids.
The pyramids. Yeah, pyramids.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's just talk about pyramids for now. Stonehenge, pyramids, is the island.
What about Stonehenge? Tell us about Stonehenge.
I don't really know that much about Stonehenge, but it's just one of those things.
On that pyramid, though, weren't the pharaohs, or whatever they call them, the dudes with the bird-looking guys with the stars, weren't they like just extremely big? Like they were like
large people.
giant, very large people. I watched a lot of
So maybe
AI
they were
stuff.
aliens.
Hey, wait,
I watched a lot of AI stuff.
hang on. What?
So
The
you-
guys with the bird heads.
Yeah, the
Egyptian gods.
Egyptian gods.
Are they
Yeah.
Egyptian gods?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
sorry,
they
sorry,
are.
just-
They just picked up the thing and put the stone?
It's-
You know that they had a lot of workers.
I know they had a lot of workers.
Egypt
but
was
before-
like the richest country during the Bronze Age. It was so
But is
ridiculously
there any
rich.
history behind before
But
the
they had
pyramids?
no tools, no machinery. They had to build all that stuff.
And they did.
Yeah, I know. But like the guy who sanctioned the bill would have probably died by the time it got built. That's how
Because
hard
that
it
was
was.
approved by city council.
Yeah.
That
They had governments back then.
Right.
The pharaoh.
They did have governments.
Yeah, right.
Because the pyramids, you're talking about the pyramids of
They would
Giza,
have actually
the
been
big ones, right?
sanctioned.
The biggest pyramids,
Yeah.
those were built last. They built the small ones first. You know, they trial and error. They learned from the smaller projects and they built up to the biggest ones.
So why did they decide we'll just build a bloody triangle in the middle of the desert?
Well, I've heard
So-
that they're power stations. They were actually power stations. Because
For your EV cars.
But why
Yeah.
not? Like, this is tying in on that, right? This is tying in.
Yeah,
Aliens are real.
I get that. The thing is, I don't like the pyramids thing because it just implies that those people were too dumb to build them. You know?
this is an entertainment podcast.
We don't
It's not
think
into-
Egyptians are dumb, okay?
No, I mean, the ancient
So-
Egyptians are dead. No one worries about the ancient ones. They're dead. You know?
We love Egypt.
I love Egypt.
Yeah.
I love kebab.
I'd like
Okay.
to visit Egypt one day.
All right.
All right, okay. So,
Let's just move on from
Yeah.
my topic.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, other conspiracies.
Roy, you go, because you're very into this right now.
I'm stuck on the pyramids. Do someone else.
Pyramids and power stations, carry on.
Okay. So there was a survey conducted. About 180 Gen Zs were
Speed up, Raksmey!
surveyed. Hang on.
He's
You-
nervous!
He's getting
He's
it.
nervous!
He's
He
getting
did a
it.
survey for
Okay,
in preparation
so-
for the podcast.
The aliens have infiltrated his mind.
Exactly. Okay, so there was a survey. Okay, survey done in America, and 180 Gen Zs were questioned. No, fuck this. I fucked this one. Okay.
All right.
This is what you call. We're not cutting this. We're not cutting this. Nikhil, you go.
All right.
This episode's going to be a big flop.
I've got a
Big
fun one.
flop.
All right, my conspiracy that I know of is, do you guys remember COVID-19 and the lockdowns all over the
No,
world?
what's that?
Carry on.
So, the conspiracy that I heard that kind of makes sense when you really think about it is, during COVID-19 lockdown, they locked the whole world down
To know that.
so that
Why?
they could
Yeah, tell me.
change the batteries for the birds.
Oh, I know this one. Oh, yes.
I've never
Change
heard
the batteries for
For
the.
the birds.
Oh, I love this one.
What do you mean by that?
So all the birds can't actually fly. The machine operated. They're all battery powered.
Birds aren't real, bro.
And
Right.
the birds are actually spy machines, and they needed to change the batteries, and they couldn't do that because everybody's like walking in the streets. So they did this huge elaborate lockdown. So everybody be locked down in their houses, and they're not allowed to get out of the house. And then they went and changed all the birds' batteries.
So what? They went in the sky and changed the
Well,
birds?
nah,
The birds
they can
weren't
control
flying
the
'cause they
birds.
If they can control the birds, why don't they just get all the birds to come to one spot, change
But
the
wouldn't
battery?
that
All the
look
birds
suspicious?
disappear.
So
Wouldn't that look suspicious?
Who's
Look
ever
at all
noticed
the
birds? Who's ever noticed birds ever?
Well, you
Yeah,
know
but
what?
it's a seagull.
Unless it's deep fried and on my plate, I don't notice any birds
Okay,
ever.
hang on.
Those are blackbirds, but-
So I know this conspiracy theory. It's the idea that birds aren't real, and that they're government surveillance drones. And I love this conspiracy theory because I remember where it actually came from, okay? So you remember back in like the 2000s and stuff, and the whole flat earth thing is coming around? So someone went and made a community online called Birds Aren't Real as like a parody.
Yes, that's
like
a page. That's probably the page where
Yeah, as like a parody of the earth is flat. And they were like, birds are real, the government, they made it like real dumb. And then people started seeing that, not realizing it's satire, started actually believing it as a conspiracy theory. I remember when it went from satire to like the actual. I love that page.
It was the perfect setup. They had this COVID-19 story going.
Yes.
And then suddenly all these flat earthers were like, yes, they changed the batteries for the birds during COVID-19. You heard it here first. This is what's happening. It's
so
a real conspiracy theory. It's not satire. People actually believe
it's so good.
Okay, so guys, I just want to. Some Gen Zs were.
Okay. All right.
So
Okay.
let's do a survey.
Let them collect themselves.
Okay, I've forgotten.
There's a survey done for Gen Zs, right? Okay. They don't believe in journalism.
What?
They don't believe in journalism.
They don't believe in
Explain
journalism.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, journalism, they talk a lot of shit. It's a hoax, right?
Yes.
They do whatever it takes for their ratings.
Mm.
They don't actually interview the subject. They go outside like, oh yeah, Renil Singh is a bad man. Stuff like that. But they don't actually go and interview.
So they somehow get it right.
And so the issue is not there. The issue is that they believe in influences over journalism.
Who?
Right?
The world.
Real media.
The people,
Gen
real
Zs.
media. Gen Zs, people that are in the
traditional
15
media.
15 traditional media. So like anything you see on the news, like that, it's not true.
Okay.
I believe in, Isaac, the influencer. He's got the real one. Because the Gen Z's generation.
So where's the conspiracy theory?
What this comes from is the fact that back in the day we had newspapers, right? Back in
Yes.
the 1910s, 1920s, people printed whatever they wanted in newspapers.
Yeah.
And the governments had to come in and regulate it and be like, journalistic ethics, you have to print the truth, libel, and you can get sued and all that stuff. And so there was very, very strong journalistic ethics for a long time.
Right.
Until the internet comes along, anyone can make a blog, post whatever they want.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's easy and it's cheap.
Yes.
Newspapers cost a lot of money. They don't make a lot of money. You spend 50 cents on a newspaper?
Yeah.
They don't make money. So they can't survive in the new internet media age.
Mm-hmm.
And so the people that survive are the ones that just post whatever they want. They don't have the same restrictions as newspapers. And so these Gen Zs, they're right in that the media, the newspaper journalism had to evolve to be internet journalism, which again doesn't have the same standards as proper print media used to.
Mm-hmm.
It's lost all of its standards because it's trying to keep up with all the bloggers and the vloggers and the other Isaacs.
Yep. But in saying that, with all the influencers these days, they like to debunk other influencers. And so on and so forth.
There's more
Accountability. Accountability, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like this wave of Gen Zs, this new generation, are just going in different directions. They don't know where to follow.
Mm.
Yeah. Where for us, millennials, was way more straightforward.
Do you think maybe they've got so much information that they're even more uninformed as a result?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. The more information they have, they don't know what to believe because
Yeah.
everything is
Yeah.
contradicting.
So you
everything.
can literally have somebody say the aliens are coming tomorrow and they would be like,
But they are.
are they?
I think they're already here.
That's the point.
Antarctica.
You know?
Mm,
Yeah. You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
Aliens in Antarctica.
Oh, did you see that video? Okay, no, we'll go to Roy because otherwise we're just going to keep talking about Antarctica. And then we're going to get back to the pyramids and then we're going to talk about journalism that we forgot.
Yeah.
Right, Roy.
My conspiracy theory is that ghosts are real and that they can travel across national borders without a visa. Now, people seem to think that ghosts have to stay where they died. I don't think so.
Mm.
I think that they can travel. Most of them just choose to stay there because that's what they know,
I have a question.
Yes.
Why would ghosts stay where they are then?
Well, you see that because the old ghosts that died, right? They never traveled in their life. They lived in one
That's
village.
even more reason for them to travel.
But that's the thing. They're afraid.
The ghosts are afraid.
They don't know what's out there.
So my question is, what is a ghost? Like, how does a ghost become a ghost?
It's the soul or the spirit.
So
Well,
does
my religious
everybody
people's
become
souls,
a ghost after they
it's-
die? Or?
No, not entirely. It depends. See, sometimes your soul goes to an afterlife.
Mm.
Sometimes it stays tethered to the earth.
I think he's watching Harry Potter.
Interesting story with my background. My parents and even my extended family, they're hardcore into souls and spirits and reincarnation. And so they think that when someone passes on, their spirit, ghost or whatever, lingers. And they're looking for a new, it's not possession, but they want to be a part of the next person's life. And so what they do is so let's say, for example, my grandma passed away a while ago, RIP. She will go visit my mother in her dreams. And she's like, hey, your son's having a newborn. Can I be a part of their new life? And so what happens is that when it's accepted and the baby is born, they'll pick up, the baby itself will pick up traits from the grandmother. So she could be like a heavy eater. And so the baby will pick up those traits. And so this is why Cambodians heavily believe in that this reincarnation sort of vibe, right? Okay, now you can go.
That's real interesting. Like that, actually, like on a serious note, that's so
it's like a cultural thing.
Yeah. So you're saying that the spirit or the ghost comes in the dreams? Is that a thing?
Yeah, they say hi, like, hey.
And they ask to be a part, so they imprint some of them, or that spirit goes into the new baby.
Yes, they do.
Asking your permission to become a part of your family again, basically.
Pretty much.
So is that spirit going
being reborn?
Is that spirit going in to the newborn and becoming one with the newborn?
Yes.
So that is the grandmother, or that is one
that's the grandmother's soul.
It's kind of like Dragon Ball Z, right? They just fuse.
Yeah, it's mixed.
It's mixed.
Yeah.
So they pick up the traits and attitudes and stuff. Like there's a woman before me who was my mother's best friend. She had passed away through like a seizure, and she started frothing, very graphic. And she.
What are you shooting at? 4K. You want a teenage?
Should be on teenage.
So we were just talking about the Cambodian ghost story that Raksmey was filling us in on, but the cameras died, which kind of is freaking him out now, so he's not sure if he wants to keep talking about it. Do you want to keep talking about it?
Tonight, guys. Yeah, I'll carry on.
Finish it off.
Okay, cool. So my mum had a best friend. This was a long time ago before I was born. And she unfortunately had passed out. Oh, not passed out. She had passed away in front of her. And as she was having a seizure, she started frothing at the mouth. So as she was frothing, part of it just went onto her neck. And my mum swears to this day that this is what was at her neck, this birthmark. Oh. This is what stained her neck. So I'm just like, is my mum crazy or am I crazy? And so for years, that's pretty scary. For years, she goes on about, oh yeah, this guy just passed away, and like he's like our uncle and stuff, and he just sort of wanders around, and he's like, hey, there's gonna be a newborn and stuff. And funny enough, my my auntie had her firstborn not too long ago, and same situation. They said the same thing. They said the same thing as my mother. She's like, oh yeah, we just had one of our relatives asked to be inside this baby. So I'm just like, okay, well, all Cambodians are crazy. No, but this was just, it's really interesting for this to surface up, to come to fruition that it's not just my mother. It could be a large group, it could be the whole background, the culture, that Cambodians hardcore believe in reincarnation.
So the big question is, do you believe that this is the case?
When I see it, when I have the dream, then I will believe it. Yeah. So whenever I have my firstborn, someone comes to me and says, hey brother, can I be that soul of your baby? And I'm like, probably not, brother. No, but I'm like, that's when I'll believe it. If I have a dream, I will believe it.
Yeah.
Can we try to summon the soul that's inside Raksmey?
Yeah, let's do it. Raksmey, call on her.
And please don't turn off the camera.
Come out! If you're here, give us a sign! Anything. Move something.
Yeah, we'll cut to the advertising now.
Okay.
Hero clothing.
Okay, cool.
Cool. And yeah, that's my story about reincarnation.
You really got us marinated for the next section.
That's true.
So you really set the tone, set the mood. I'm fizzing
oh my
right now.
God.
That's
I just realized something. Raksmey is living Om Shanti Om.
Is this his first life or second life?
Second life!
Because he's got the orb symbol. He's got that.
Okay, so it's a Shah Rukh Khan movie, am I right?
Yeah.
The poster of it.
Okay, this movie, basically there's a guy who wants to be an actor and then he gets killed and then he comes back to life and this time he comes back as a big actor's son, but then he remembers his previous life. So that's pretty much a summary and
okay.
that's your
So
line.
now I gotta get Jack to have long hair?
Pretty much. And you need to
gonna make
have
it,
a
buddy.
six-pack and you need to do a dance with all the sexy girls.
I like that. I like that. That's fun.
Are you afraid of fire?
No, actually.
He's afraid of water!
Probably didn't get killed by fire. He probably drowned.
All right. Let's move on to the next section, which is dumb things that I have done. I asked everybody around and I said, how good is your story? Raksmey said, 10 out of 10.
Oh.
It might just be Raksmey's episode, people.
You put me on the spot.
I tell you what, I don't think there's going to be a better story than this
boy.
one. Raksmey,
Okay.
hit us with that.
This story is not known to the public. Only maybe 2 people know of this story, okay? So, I was a year 9, and I had this graphics teacher. He was an a-hole, right? He would say no to anyone, to anything, like they gotta go somewhere. No, you gotta stay till the end of the classroom, okay? So I had a really, really big lunch one day. You all know where this is going. I had a really big lunch, okay? And I was scared of this teacher, okay? When you're young, teachers are like 2 times the size, you know? And so something was brewing. And I remember sitting with my friend and I was just like watching the time. Okay, half an hour. And then slowly, it easy goes. It starts to turtle up. And I'm just like, okay, there's 20 minutes.
It's groaning!
10 minutes before the bell rings, I could not hold anymore. And I think to this day that I had long pants and that I'm not a shorts guy. I am now a shorts guy, but there wasn't a lumpy one. It was not a lumpy one. And just so I can reiterate, I was about 13 at the time. And I had a friend that was the size of an eel, sorry. And he was a bit taller than me. And he's quite the contact kind of person. So he lifted me up.
What? Why?
He was like, hey man, it's home time. And he grabbed me and he kind of just lifted me up. And I could feel it running down. I could feel it running down my legs.
Oh.
And I remember I was like, thank God the bell rang. And he was like, oh my God, what does it stink? It stinks here. And he didn't question it. Thank goodness he didn't question it. And so I remember there was these pretty girls walking ahead of me towards the door and they could smell something deadly. And they looked back and they were like, they're not friends on my Facebook anymore. And Jasnil, who's one of our friends, he used to walk home with me, right? And I was trying to make my way home. I was by myself. I was like, sweet. I got to the end of the school. I'm like, thank goodness. And then Jasnil spawned out of nowhere. He didn't say anything. He was like, hey. And then we started walking together. But I was like, bro, please. I started walking purposely slower. And we were walking for a good 15 minutes and we just said nothing. And then I'm so glad he just left. He was just like, this guy's walking too slow. He just left. And yeah, so I got home. It was funny as I got home and I get to the house. My brother was already home before me. And he was like, the first thing he said to me was like, ooh, you shit your pants! He knew straight away. This is your brother's instinct. He knew straight away that I do keep my bum in my pants. It's another shit story, but we'll do that another day. So
That was a 10 out of 10. I'll give you that. That was a 10 out of 10.
I'm surprised Jasnil didn't say who stepped in dog shit.
No, he didn't say anything. And I told him about 3 years ago, and he's like, I didn't even realize. Yeah, he said, didn't even realize.
Jasnil's a good guy.
He's a good
Sweet
man.
guy. He's the guy who we rung in the previous
Episode 2,
episode,
yeah.
and he said that Baigun Baigun was no good. So
So you
I don't think the song hits as good as John Wee either.
So you think the song shit?
A little bit.
What a sweet man.
It must have been pretty bad for him to admit it then, eh?
Shut up.
He let Rocky walk on with shin his pants.
Well, that's what he lied about. So maybe that means bacon is good.
No, it was that bad.
He was like, it was pretty shit, but what he meant is, oh my god, it was like a turd in your pants.
On that note, turn in the pants, Roy, go for gold. Tell us your story.
Okay. So this happened a few years ago when I was in America. I was visiting my cousin, and my mum, she'd give me her credit card because she's like, good mum. And I got to visit my cousin. He lives in Pittsburgh. I'm staying with my auntie. She drives me into the city, drops me off at his house. Me and him, we're going to go out, dinner, drinks, just hang out, And my mum has called me and said, you're older than your cousin. You're the one who has to pay.
Okay.
It's going to be a big thing. Like the older brother has to pay. So make sure you pay. You got my card? Make sure you pay. Now, she calls me when we're driving there and she says the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, mum, I got it. And I say to my cousin, I'm like, oh, my mum's been calling me saying this. And he said, oh, really? Because when my mum dropped you off, she said the same thing to me. She's like, he's a guest here. You have to pay. Here's some money. And I'm like, oh, God, these two, my mum and her sister. We're going to go to a nice steakhouse. And I think to myself, hang on, what if, how much do you think it's going to cost for like a normal dinner? And he goes, about $200. Like, let's spend $400. I'll pay $200. You pay $200. They check their account statements. That's a normal amount for dinner. All right. So we do this. We go get a couple of drinks. We go off to the restaurant. We get the highest quality steak I ever had. It was amazing. Wagyu. Yes.
Nice.
It was like they had a thing written like its entire diet, everything it's ever eaten, everything it's ever done in its life. They brought out a whole sheet, right? They bring it out and show us. I'm like, yes, amazing. This is the greatest idea. No way this could backfire. We have that. We go off to the bar. We get some cigars. We're just chilling out. We're hanging out. He's a cool guy.
Sure.
And he gets a call from his mum. You spent how much on dinner? He's like, oh, okay. It ended up coming to about 500, so he said 250. She's like, I know for a fact that it did not. How do you know this? Meanwhile, I'm getting a call from my mum. How dare you spend so much on dinner? Turns out, after we'd finished, they'd called each other up. They're like, oh yeah, they were at dinner. Oh, they had fun. Yeah. So my son paid. No, my son paid. No, my son paid. No, my son paid. They both went and checked their bank accounts. So my son paid $250 and this many cents. My son paid $250 and this many cents. So they call up the restaurant and go, I think I've been charged twice. What's going on here? The guy goes through and looks it up and goes, no, that looks correct. They spent $500 and something dollars on dinner. And all of a sudden, we're sitting there like, cigars burning out like,
at this point, you just finished it off.
We did. We're like, I'm sorry. They're like, you wait until you get back to New Zealand.
Okay, so I've got a question.
Yes.
You're old enough to drink and
Yep.
smoke a cigar at the pub.
Yep.
Why your mom's paying for
What you
that?
doing? What you doing, Roy?
Let me tell you why.
Also, on that note, it's very hard to lie. It was hard for me to lie to my mum. For some reason, she would find a way. Like you said, they will investigate. Like I went to the dairy, she's like, can you just pick up one thing? And I just get me a pie or something. She knew straight away. She knew that I bought like a pie and something. Yeah. She called me out.
Well, we're using it.
What? Maybe you use that.
Keep figuring it
I was
out.
gonna say, was this before online banking?
Yeah, there's no itemized receipt on the bank account.
The thing is, my mum's very, very old school. She doesn't know how to use. She refuses to use electronics. She doesn't drive. So how'd she find out? Maybe through my dad.
Or maybe when there were crumbs on your bloody chair. That's how.
Smell like Mr. Cheese pie.
Actually, there may be another explanation for this. Did your mum ever do this? This is something I didn't realize my mum did until like ages later when she was wrong about it. But she'd just throw out an accusation and it would be right.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. She would just like a shit test you.
Yeah.
Right? And then based on your reaction, she's like,
Yeah.
that mum was lying.
Yeah.
Surely there wasn't just a pie wrapper in the rubbish bin.
Yeah. True. But okay, honestly though, when was the time that you guys thought you got away, but then your parents, mum or dad, knew?
Oh, mate, I remember I wrote a love note to this young girl.
Yeah.
I was young too. I was young too.
Please don't cancel us. Maybe specify the ages. Or maybe don't specify the ages.
A girl of my age.
Oh, no.
When I was 13, she was 13.
That's allowed.
Etc. So then, I wrote a love note. I don't know why. It was
Sort of bad love
stupid.
of
Yeah. I wrote it. I was like, I love you. I was wondering if like maybe you'd want to like go out with me or like be my girlfriend. Like, it was like a big. It was a big risk. It was a big risk.
It is. Yeah.
I put the thing in and I said to her, if you this is my number, call me at home because I don't know no cell phones that time, right?
On 07843.
Yeah. Or you can post it back to me. Post the letter back to me. So then we sent the letter off. I sent the letter off, and it became return to sender. Right? It became return to sender, and it came back to the local post shop. But my parents owned the post shop! And so the parents saw the letter and opened it up, and then the post it was like, okay, open up this letter, let's see who it's going to so that we can send it back to its original writer. And then my parents read the thing, I was just like, oh my god. From They were just like no, they didn't hit me actually, but it was so bad. And then my brother found out.
That's the worst because all brothers love teasing.
Yeah,
They don't give a crap's ass about
Yeah. So don't write letters to young girls, guys.
But you know your
Of your age.
Of your age.
Your dad
Or
would-
younger.
yeah, exactly.
He would have been like, Real, how dare you? But deep inside, would have been like, that's my boy.
Maybe his reaction, his adverse reaction was, this isn't going to get a yes, you idiot!
Could be. Exactly right.
It was pretty bad. Ask her in person.
Also, did you end up asking her out?
She married, got a
Never
kid now.
made it.
She married, she got a kid now, but she fat, so it's all good. Okay.
Slut.
Yeah.
Now. What?
We're not saying anything.
I didn't say that. I still allow you, man. I didn't say the name, did I?
We didn't say Britain.
Yeah, he didn't say a bad word. He just said a word in Cambodian, which exactly.
Well,
Ghost.
the good thing is that the letter never reached its end recipient because
Exactly.
I don't know now what actually was the problem. Maybe it was like not enough postage or something. But,
Or maybe she just went return to send. She's read it and then went
that's
return to
true.
send.
Maybe she's still in spam.
Nah, surely not. Because then she would have hit me up or been weird about me at school. But she still smelled lovely. Nikhil. Speaking of smells,
Are we on stupid things I've done?
I mean, that's still a stupid thing.
we're still on stupid things I've done, but the computer's turned off. Honestly, I don't know why people. We are doing the dumb things that you've
Dumb
done.
things I've done. This is a really dumb thing I did. And I wasn't young. So there's you can judge me. So a couple of years ago, I flew out of the country to go to Fiji. I was supposed to meet my wife there. So she had flown ahead of me. And so she's with her family. So I landed in Nandi Airport and I have to go to Suva, which was about a 3-hour car ride, 5-hour bus ride. Okay? So wife's waiting for me in Suva and I get out of the airport. I go to the bus stand to catch the bus. And the bus fare is about $20. So as I'm waiting for the bus to get here, a taxi stops. And the taxi goes, you want to go? Where are you going? Suva? Yeah. How much? And then he goes, $100. And I go, nah, I'll just catch the bus. $20, you know? And he goes, all right, you're not going to get a ride for like $100 in a cab, for like $20. So he just rides off. And then this other car comes. And I swear to God, this car was rattling on its chassis. Okay? And the dodgiest guy ever was driving that car. He pulls up and he goes, hey, Bear, where are you going? Suva. And he goes, I dropped you? I go, how much? He goes, $50? And I go, oh, I'll just catch the bus. He goes, okay, $20.
Oh no.
He wanted to make a sale.
And at this point, I'm like, And then I look at the back seat and I see a female sitting in the back seat. And I go, surely it's safe, right? Yeah, sweet as. Load my bags in the truck, hop in next to him, and off we go. We're not hitting the highway, guys. We're going around town. So I figure, okay, he's trying to pick up more passengers, right? Drive around the bus stop, drive around town, and he goes, I just dropped this one off. And then we go, what?
Oh, damn it.
It went up to about like 40.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Sit.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we're driving around town, and we're going around the bus stop, we're going around town, around the shops, and then he goes, okay, I just dropped this one off. And then we go, what? And I'm thinking, oh, there goes my safety net. He's dropping the female off, guys. She was supposed to be the one that keeps me safe. You know?
It's
Surely
usually the other way around.
Well, he's not going to do something with, if there's a chick in the car, like, surely, like, if there's a chick in the car is safe.
Oh, what do you... Okay.
So he's going to go drop the chick off now.
But what do you think he's going to do to you if the
Well,
chick
I'm
is
just-
not in the car?
He just looks dodgy.
Okay,
and I'm
so-
thinking, like, if the chick's not there, he could do a lot of things.
So you're
to be
thinking-
honest, I'm not
Steal
that
from
worried.
you, right?
I'm
That's just...
I'm not
So
too far worried
You're in
yet.
a dodgy car, it's rattling,
And the guy looks really dodgy.
the guy looks really dodgy.
And it was a rental car too.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm not feeling too scared at the moment. But I'm getting the vibes. Okay, the girl's going, I'm like, okay, surely it's fine.
And you haven't hit the highway, just...
Yeah. Okay, we're going to drop the girl off.
Still driving around
Hit
town.
the highway and go to Suva. We'll still make it before the bus and it'll still be worth it for me. Sure.
Yes.
Right? So we go to drop off the girl hops out. And it's been about like 45 minutes already, right? Since he
Yes.
picked me up.
Yes.
And then he goes, I try to get some more passengers, okay? And then I look at the watch, I'm like, sure, okay, whatever, man. Goes back to the bus stop, drives around town, and then he couldn't find any passengers. And then he goes, hey, I just have to pick something up from my friend's house. Then we go. And this is where it gets really bad, guys. He starts driving on a dirt road. We hit the dirt road, and we're going past houses, and slowly there are no more houses and just farmland and bushes.
Oh, shit.
And then he parks up next to a tree, and then he looks at me and he goes, Russ, you just wait here. I'll be right back. Hops out of the car. He goes off. And I'm sitting in this car, and this is when it hits me. I just flew into the country. I don't have a SIM card. I don't have internet.
You're screwed.
I can't call my wife or her family to let her know that I'm in this car with this guy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of nowhere. Am I gonna die? Am I gonna get robbed? So I'm sitting in the car, and in my head, he left the keys, so the engine's still running when he left. In my head, I'm thinking, worst case scenario, if he's coming back with 3 or 2 other guys, I'm jumping in this driver's seat, I'm reversing out of here, and I'm just leaving. I'm stealing this guy's car. All right, so I'm waiting about half an hour later.
So have you locked the doors?
Yeah. So I've locked the doors and I'm ready to jump the seat. Like I'm still sitting in the passenger seat, but I'm ready to go. Like I've already got the plan sorted, right? And then I see him coming back alone. And I go, okay. I don't know what the heck he was doing there, but he's coming back. Comes back, opens the door, gets back in. Goes, hey, Russ, all good? Okay, set, we go now, eh? It's already been like 2 hour and a half.
Loving the impressions.
Yeah, it's been like an hour and a half, you know? So like I'm thinking, oh, okay, surely we're gonna hit the highway now. About 2.5 hours since he picked me up, he finally hits the highway. Okay? So the Fijian highway isn't like a New Zealand expressway, okay? It's basically just 2 lanes. They're not very wide, they're not very safe, and they have multiple like villages in the middle where you have to slow down all of a sudden. And the max speed zone I think is 80 kilometers per hour. I kid you not, this guy was driving 120 to 140 kilometers per hour. Half the time, he wasn't even in the right lane.
Wow, right.
Because he's just trying to guess it to Suva now. And I'm just like, what the heck have I done? I'm going to die in this car crash. Like, I can see this car overturning. I can see us like, I literally see cars coming head on, and we're just barely missing it, going off the curb, off to the grass, and back on the road again.
It's a video game like that.
It's pretty much, he's playing Grand Theft Auto, and I'm playing real life Grand Theft Auto Passenger on Xbox. We're going. So there's a town just before Suva, 2 hours before Suva at Singatoka, right?
Yeah.
So we stop at Singatoka. And at this point, I'm like, well, the worst is behind us. We're almost there. Yeah, he stayed there for like another half an hour, break time, trying to find no passengers.
Yeah.
And then he finds 3 big-ass men that looked very, very, very not suspicious at all.
Yeah.
They were his friends.
All right.
And they smelled the alcohol. Right?
Yeah.
So they jump in the back.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm like, so this is it. This is his game plan. He went to the middle of nowhere. His friends went there. And these are his friends now. He couldn't find them there. And then he's found them here. And they're going to now go to the middle of nowhere in Singatoka.
Yeah.
And they're going to
jump me.
They're going to jump me.
Yeah.
And I've got a bag in the back full of alcohol, duty free.
Yeah.
I've got cash in my money. I got cash in my wallet.
Yeah.
And then he knows I'm from overseas. He knows I got the goods in the bag,
Yeah, the goods got the lot going on.
Yeah. So anyway, he starts driving back to Suva. And I'm just thinking, how am I going to...
Can't you do it?
He fingers himself in the poo.
That's a sign of anxiety, mate. You gotta stop doing that.
Okay, Dad.
No, don't tell him he has to go home.
You have to stay here and do the whole podcast.
He stops at the bus stand. And now I'm thinking, I'm safe, The guys are jumping out. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, I hope they don't take my duty free. When they're taking this
Yeah, the
stuff out of
trunk
the
open up.
So the guys jump out of the car. And the driver turns to me and goes, hey, can you just pay me now, please? Then I'll drop you off home. So I think the driver might have been thinking I was trying to rob him, maybe. I don't know. so I
This
go,
guy's awkwardly quiet for too long.
so I go, okay, sweet as. Yeah, no worries. He goes, $30, eh?
Yeah.
And then I go, you know what? Fair enough. $20, the bus would have taken me to the bus stop. Then this guy's going to drop me home.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it took him 6 hours to freaking get me from Nandi to Suva, and the bus would have taken 5.
Yeah.
But, we got there, and it's getting dark, and my family's worried. All right, and I've got a story to tell now. So we get back to my house. I get off, big smile. My wife's family were worried sick. And they come out all smiled, and they're hugging me, and I'm taking the bags out, and the other guy just drives off. And then they're like, who is that? And then I tell them the story. And my wife was not happy. The family was not happy. My wife's brother actually said, I don't know why he didn't rob you. If it was me, I would have robbed you.
Yeah.
It's like, you were easy pickings. I don't know why he didn't rob you. You found the one honest to God person in Fiji.
And so they didn't rob you at all?
They didn't rob me. I survived.
The duty free?
Everything was fine.
They were just
He
loving
dropped me off. He was an honorable person. He dropped me off. Everything was fine.
So you're the bad guy for thinking he was
They
a
did
thief.
charge
Would you not have thought the same way?
I'm a good guy. I'm a
Driving
good
to
guy.
the middle of nowhere. I mean, I'm not embellishing. This is actually what he did. He drove to the middle of nowhere. There was no houses around. There was dirt road. And he just disappeared for half an hour to do God knows what. And he came back. He's supposed to pick something up. He didn't come back with something. And yeah.
At that point, if he had asked you for $100, would you have given it to him?
And then that spot in the middle of nowhere. Absolutely, yes.
Fair.
To get out of there, yes. I couldn't take him on.
So what's the moral of the story here, Nikhil?
Don't get into strangers' cars.
Especially when it's rattling.
Especially when it's on a taxi.
I think that the moral I got is that people are generally quite nice and you can trust them.
Give people the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, I was right. I trust him.
Yeah.
Even though I almost shit myself multiple times during the time I was in his car.
And he pumped the price up a little bit, but that's expected. Especially because the bus was offering a similar service for the same cost. He was
dropping me to my doorstep. Yeah. And I think he thought, $20, I'll pick up a few more people, it'll be fine. He didn't pick up any more people. So he had to try to up my price a bit to make it worth the gas sort of thing, Yeah. And so I was happy to pay $30, to be honest. I was a bit annoyed that it took him on pretty much the same amount of time the bus would have taken. Yeah. But that said, I mean, I look back at the experience now and I don't regret it. I think it was a good experience and I've got a cool story to tell. And
the audience needs to look at this man. Just look at the camera. That is a man who's talking some shit right now. I was happy to pay $30. I didn't mind at all.
It wasn't because I thought it was gonna like. I didn't think his friends were gonna like rob me or anything.
So based on everything that's happened so far, I've shed my pants. I think Benil confirmed that he also shed his pants at some point.
I may have.
He also shed his pants. He shed his pants at the restaurant.
No, that was in the cigar bar later when my mum put that's when I shed my pants.
So I guess it's the shit in your pants episode for the podcast today, everybody.